Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved and loved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and a lot of you've been asking about this shop and Lightspeed tokens in general. But I want to have this kind of overall Lightspeed token conversation in the context of the Era Shipments store, because I think all that goes together. And the question came from my Discord here. If I can open this up, Chris said, "I managed to get 1,000 Era currency free to play. So have I. I've got that as well. It might be good to do a video on how you'd prioritize these tokens in your 2026 free-to-play guide. Could also maybe broaden it out to generally how would you allocate all the Lightspeed tokens available with Era currency. I'm also struggling to decide which character to spend an Erodium Lightspeed token on. Lightspeed tokens are everywhere. They're in the Era shop. They're in your episode pass. They're given to you in the journey quests. You can buy them. They're everywhere. And what do you do with those Lightspeed tokens? And then Tigers gives a +1 with the added spin of benefits for, you know, assault battles and everything else. So you guys are asked these questions. If you want to contribute to that type of conversation or spur a video, I've got those rooms in my Discord, YouTube video ideas, and also see something, say something. If you see something that's going on in the game that nobody's talking about or people are missing out on, recently it was the currency or the inability to do the journey quest with the what's the ability that only Stormtrooper Luke and Chewie have. Anyway, that was I missed that. But if you see something that's happening in the game that I'm missing or everybody's missing, put it in the see something, say something room or the YouTube ideas room. So let me know so I can do those videos. But regardless, in this shop, the Era Shipment shop, you have access to Lightspeed bundles, or Lightspeed tokens, excuse me, for 5,000, and then for 1,000 over there on the end, and then right here behind me. 1,000 is going to get you these Gear 12 characters at 3 stars. The question is, once you get that 1,000 currency, should you be spending it on that, on those 1,000? Should you save it for the 5,000? Should you look at Gear 10, or excuse me, Relic 10? Because that's what this stuff is up here. It's a really good question, and as I mentioned, we've all got Lightspeed tokens. I got this Ezra one right now. I don't have his Zeta, so I'm going to go ahead and apply. This is going to give me Ezra Zeta. Let's go! There it is. If you have everything already done, then it'll, you know, it'll just give you some other stuff. The real question at the end of the day, what do we do with our currency in the Era Shipment store? And I want to talk about this, but I think it's important to note that right now we're still pretty new on this, and it's going to be different. I'm not going to say early game, mid game, late game, etc. You know, here's what you do each one of these, but I will talk about some different situations for different rosters that would lead you to different decisions in the game with these Lightspeed tokens. So let's jump in. Let's jump in. The first question, let's answer: should you spend 1,000 of your Era currency on those Carbonite Lightspeed tokens? And I'm just gonna say flat out, generally speaking, I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no. Now, it's a little hard to visualize on my account here, because I've got most of these characters, but one example would be the Armorer, okay? The Armorer is a newer character that requires 400 Chirotex to unlock at Relic levels. So if I was going to spend the 1,000 on this Carbonite token, the Armorer would be a pretty good target for me, because I would knock out 300 of those Lightspeed tokens on the Armorer for everything leading up to Gear 12, and then at Gear 12 I gotta add 100 more. Is the next jump up, when you look at it, worth saving up to get 5,000 tokens? Now, if you're buying the episode pass every month, you're going to be able to get 5,000 tokens about monthly-ish. And if you can do that, if you are buying the episode pass, okay, I'm just going to say you should never buy these Gear 12 Lightspeed tokens. If you're free to play and it looks like it's going to take you, based on what we're seeing right now, again, work in progress, it's going to take you 4 or 5 months to save up for even these Gear 12 ones. I mean, sorry, it's going to take you a month to save up for the 1,000, or 3 weeks to a month to save up for the 1,000, and then 3 to 4 months to save up for a 5,000 one. There may be an occasional situation where it might possibly be worth it for you to maybe, on some level, consider investing in the 1,000 currency Lightspeed token. But I don't think that is going to be very, common as a decision to make. And let me talk about this graphic. I use this graphic in my Lightspeed token farming guide, which I will put a link up there for you guys right now. This is all the droids in the game. There's a droid Lightspeed token coming to us here in the next couple of months with the journey quests that are going on, right? And I've shaded all the droids that are either available through other Lightspeed tokens easily in those journey quests, or are old characters that only require 100 Kyrotex when they go from Gear 12 to Gear 13, or from Gear 12 to Relic, if you want to call it. The highlighted characters, to me, from my perspective, are the only droids worth investing a Lightspeed token in, simply because of the Kyrotex, i.e., for example, or what? I don't know. What am I trying to say? Kyrotex. Well, meaning what is required to invest in those characters gear-wise. Everyone that's shaded out, BB-8, HK-47, well, Smee is a Proving Grounds character, gets 7 stars anyway. I don't think I'm gonna give you a Lightspeed token. K2SO, General Grievous. General Grievous is actually a maybe because it takes a while to get the 7 stars. 3PO's a Journey, IG-88, etc. Those are all older characters that take you 100 Kyrotex to get them to Relic levels. These all require 400 Kyrotex at least to get them up to that Relic level, and these would be worth investing a Lightspeed token in, even maybe at Gear 12. Generally speaking, I'm gonna say I still think you're better off just waiting the 3 months to get the 5,000, even free to play. Getting these characters at well, you get them at 6 stars and Relic 5. That's big. Relic 5 is a big number. That's not something to take lightly. The journey from Gear 12 to Relic 5, and the journey from 3 stars to 6 stars is not as difficult depending on where you're farming, but the journey from Gear 12 to Relic 5 is no cakewalk. So I think that generally speaking, if you are looking at spending your era currency, and we'll discuss that in a moment, should you even spend it on Lightspeed tokens, if you are looking to spend your era currency on Lightspeed tokens, I'm going to say that 98% of the time, you should wait for the Erodium, the Relic 5 Lightspeed token. Even if you only get 4 of these a year, 4 or 5 of these a year, it's better than 12. What's going to happen is, you know, when I'm reviewing rosters, when we look at rosters and we see a whole bunch of Gear 12 characters on that roster, the roster just has a cluttered look to it. And you know why it looks like it's cluttered? Because it's cluttered. If you just start grabbing these, and again, the only character on here worth doing that I can see, yeah, the only character that's Kyrotech heavy on here is the Armorer. Everybody else, really easy to get, really worthless characters. Ewok Scout, IG-86, I'm a Gundai, Jedi Guardian, whatever she is. The Ugnaught. Vandor Chewie has his uses for sure. Young Han Solo wrote, you know, there's some uses for some of these characters. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you're going to clutter up your roster. I think you're going to have to go far, and you're going to have these Gear 12 3-star characters that you don't really have any use for. And maybe you've got other characters on here, like maybe you've got, I don't know, Admiral Piet on here available. I don't know what's available without that. Even then, I still think you're better off waiting for the Erodium. I think the Erodiums are just a better idea to do on your roster and a better way to go. Now, with that said, I think it's a secondary legitimate question. Should you even be spending this currency on Lightspeed tokens, or should it be spent on the era currency? I mean, I'm on the circular. Should it be spent on the Relic 10 gear? This is going to be very much dependent on where you are in the game. I think that for new players in early game, even maybe a good portion of the mid game, you're going to be okay still unlocking characters with these Erodium Lightspeed tokens. The Relic 5, need 1 more star, you get all their Zetas. Oh no, ability levels of 6, you're not going to get their Zetas, so no Zetas with this. I still think that will serve some purposes to finish off a farm, to get you closer to an assault battle, you know, to get you a galactic legend, whatever it's gonna, I think it's gonna serve purposes. I also think we're not even taking into account Lightspeed bundles. You do want to be careful that when you are investing in a Lightspeed token, that I can't do on this account, that you are not, you know, you can get those guaranteed Lightspeed bundles for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Right now, there's Lightspeed bundles out for Lord Vader. Sith Eternal is a Lightspeed bundle right now. Make sure you're not overlapping that if you're going to go invest in one of those. And the permanent Lightspeed bundles in game for Kylo and Rey and etc. Don't overlap your Lightspeed tokens with those bundles, because that's just a waste, right? However, when you get to a point of the game, let's say, I'm going to say when you get into or near a Rhodium Grand Arena, I think that's about the time that you just need, these shouldn't even be touched. Like, I'm not going to do these. I'm only going to spend, with my roster where it is at, what am I at, 12.6 million. Oh, I thought I was bigger than I was. 12.7 million. At 12.7 million, there's no chance that I'm investing anything in these. All my stuff will be invested in these coaxial servo motors to get myself to Relic 10 on down the road. So make that assessment when you get to the mid game. When you get to 4 million, you got to start thinking about that stuff, right? Do I need to take my Supreme Leader Kylo? Do I need to take my Balin Skull? Do I need to Relic 10 my Rey? And then we're gonna have Relic 11 and Relic 12 coming up in the coming years. Do I need to? So you've got to weigh in where your roster is and what you're doing with your roster, and also keep in mind for you guys on your new accounts, they're gonna be giving you, if you do those journey quests, you're gonna get 42 Gear 13 characters on this roster in the very near future. 42. You're gonna have a lot of things to focus on. Do you really need to add another random Lightspeed token character to the roster to maybe fit another farm? When you gotta work on Leia, you gotta get the CLS team up and running, you gotta get Bo-Katan Mandalore up and running, you gotta go farm Balin Skull, whatever it is. Do you really want to go get just an extra Lightspeed token for a character that's going to sit on your roster for 6 months to a year and not do anything? If you're not immediately invested in the character or team that you're going to be grabbing with that Lightspeed token, I would say just hold off. There's no limit to currency up here right now. You could save this currency for the rest of your life. I don't think you should, but you could save this for the rest of your life and you'd be fine. You could then later on, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the road, choose to spend it on a very targeted Lightspeed token that fits. Man, I've got this Gungan farm almost done, but I need the Phalanx. I didn't do the Phalanx. I forgot. I spaced out. Crack is whack, whatever. And the Phalanx is in here. Go grab the Phalanx, you know, at the right moment. So you have to make a decision. This is, you know, I always hate telling you exactly what to do unless you know, it's really clear, but this is going to be a nuanced decision full of gray matter. You know, where do I go with it? You got to make the decision. Where's your account? What's valuable? I just don't think these 1,000 Lightspeeds, I just don't think these are going to be worth investing in almost any situation. In almost any situation, unless you just really want a cluttered up roster, and unless you're just a collector who wants to collect every character in the game at Gear 12 regardless, I guess you can do that. You're a year down the road when you've got 12, 13, 14 of these 3-star Gear 12 characters, you might be looking back and going, man, I could have spent that all on the Phalanx and have my Gungans, whatever it's going to be, or I could even have another character or 2 at Relic 10 right now. And I'm kind of regretting that decision. You know, you get to the mid game a lot faster now than you ever did in the past. So I would say be very careful about the eroding Lightspeed tokens. Don't spend these 1,000s. And if you are in doubt at all, just save up and wait. It never hurt anybody. I say this all the time. Hoarding up gear and resources in the game for later spending ain't never hurt nobody in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And that's all we got for today, boys and girls. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.